we are back once again on the bench this time, and you can see, I think, yeah, there's my hand, I guess you can see, the amplifier, the Panasonic Stereo Integrated SU380, looks like, amplifier is on the bench. It is currently hooked up to those speakers up there, and I'll show you the speakers real quick. Yeah, there's two of them right there, and you can see those. And I had some problems when I initially just hooked it up to test it. I hooked it up to the main speaker terminals, and I didn't get anything at all at first, and then I played with the wires a little bit and made sure there was stuff going into the amplifier through the aux port right there. I don't know how well you can see that. In fact, you can't see it at all because it's off. Let's turn it on. There you can see right there, aux, that's power. It's not the lightest thing, but it does show up. Now, if I take and start the music, this is YouTube music, so is what it is, as they say. Turn it up just a little bit. I switched it to tuner, aux. So you can hear it is playing fine. Controls are going to need to be cleaned, that's obvious. That's the tape monitor. There's loudness. You can tell. So I'm very pleased with that. I think it's working pretty good. Now, like I say, on the main terminals, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. They've got these oddball, and you can see there's pieces that came off. There's a springy part, I guess, in there that goes there. I need to take them apart and find out how they go back together, because this one came off and I couldn't get it back on. So I had both of the main ones working, but I think this one here is what our biggest problem is. You can see it's broke. I think you can see that right there. Big chunk of it broke out. So I assume that's broke. Maybe it's designed that way. I don't know. But obviously it's working. I think that was Bob's main concern. His deal was he wanted to hook up the tuner if this worked. And I agree that's probably the next thing to do. Hook up the tuner, see if it works. And if it does, then we can move on to the thing that we're pretty sure has a problem. Of course, you don't know anything for certain these days. But again, the only thing I could find wrong other than this, let me turn this down a little bit. The only thing I can find wrong with this, other than this terminal, is, like I said, the controls maybe need a little cleaning, a little deoxit or whatever on them, and even this little meter here works pretty good. You can see it light up when I turn the loudness on. I've turned up a little bit. See, that doesn't want to move at all. It's real stiff. But anyway, like I said, it is working. Again, the tuner lights up there. Phono is up top. And I don't know what that bottom one is. I don't know exactly what it... Maybe it is the tape monitors. I think there's a tape symbol there, it looks like. But again, it's working just fine. And like I say, I think the next thing I'm going to try to put up on the bench here is the tuner. Stand by, we'll get that, and we'll come back again.
Getting you through the work week right here with Super Hits on the Buzz 99.3 WCCB.
Can you understand me, baby? Don't you hand me a line? Although it doesn't matter, you and me got plenty of time.
Alright, well, what you can see, that's the tuner. I do have a clip lead on there. As you can see the little white one on top. That's the only antenna I have. Playing just fine, as I thought. People, you know, it's kind of like stick shifts in millennials. They just don't know anything about them. You know, tuners were before their time. So, you know, that's the only thing I can think of, but whatever the case is, this thing works just fine. I can go up and down.
With my guilt and depression, I was depressed for at least 2 years after that, and had to talk.
That's the Bloomington station.
And I don't
Oops, wrong one.
one good thing.
See if we can get 106.1. There it is. Alright, you can see it does work just fine. That's pleases me. Like I say, the only thing left on this particular unit, or series of units, or whatever, components I guess is what you call, is the tape deck, and it's on the floor here. I don't know that we're going to get into that today, but again, I just thought I would put this up real quick. And like I said, it does work on both channels. Everything on that part checks out. There's the right.
106.1.
There's left.
I play it on my phone all day. Streaming live on the mobile app. Download the River app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Speakers aren't much there, and I can hear some right there. There's some you hear cutting out. That really needs cleaning bad. I don't like the slide switches, never did like them, but they were popular for a while. So, but it does work. Like I said, that's the main thing. Let's get back down here and something. D.
Extremely lucky.
Whoop.
Feel this.
And
Now, I haven't tried the buzz, or not the buzz, hum. Pretty sure I would have to do it this way. There it is. The other local station has a little noise in it. Like
800-749-8188.
couldn't tell what it was, like a hum.
800-749-8188.
It's on their end, though.
800-749-8188. Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer, Schneider's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
That may be it for that little clip lead. Alright, well, you can see, now I don't have this on hooked up to the power on the amplifier. The power, there's 3 power sockets on the amplifier, but none of them are polarized. And that tuner takes a polarized cord. So, we'll have to figure something out for that. Because I would like them. There's one switched on this. In other words, it comes on, the power comes on for it when you return the power on here. The other 2 are unswitched. So, the turntable can use an unswitched because it doesn't come on unless you lift the tone arm or something like that. So, but I would like the other components, like the tape deck and tuner, to use again the switched, because I don't want them to come on unless the amplifier's on. There's no sense in having them on all the time. So, anywho, that's that. I'll figure something out. If nothing else, I can wire up a special plug that will accept a polarized plug and then be able to plug into this, into the switched part. Neither one of those, I think at max is 80 watts. I don't think both of them together, well, they're never going to be, number one, they're never going to be played together. You don't play a cassette and a tuner at the same time. So, and even if they're on, you know, if they're not doing anything, I mean, you know, it's probably not going to hurt anything. I don't think they're going to draw that much current anyway. But like I said, we'll figure something out for that. That's not a problem. Again, when I take this apart, I want to make sure this is clean for sure. And the rest of the one that controls, I don't hear any noises with them. This is working just fine. Seems to anyway. Not crazy about the way I would think that would stick in when it was like that, but it doesn't. It just pops right back out. So I don't know. Not a big deal there. Like I said, that's going to do me for this. Welcome back once again, YouTube. Here it's a bench once more with the amplifier. Now I did change my mind after I made the video prior to this, the segment I should say. I decided to do some playing around with the original little terminals there, and found that once I disconnected the speakers and tried to connect them back up again, they would not work. So I decided to completely do away with the Panasonic flavor of these. I got a little trimming to do on this yet. But I decided to do away with the Panasonic style like that and put these in. Now these will fit like that, and one at the top, one at the bottom, and they will be just normal, whatever you want to call them, terminals, speaker terminals. So basically that's the way that's going to look when we get that down. Let's see if I can get you a better shot of it. Let's see, there you go. I think that the light's flickering a little bit. So, but anyway, there you go. That's the way it's going to work. I've got to do some trimming here for the screw, so that the screw holes there will line up. And once I do that, then I think the bottom one won't require that. Yeah, see, the bottom one lines up perfectly with the holes that's there, and so that'll work just fine. I can put that in. And I got to get some screws for it. As far as the ones, that backing plate, that white part there is like 5 millimeters thick. So basically, I've got to, you know, do the have some screws with nuts on them that will go into that and be able to be screwed on the back, because as you can see, there's what the back side looks like, and those screws, nuts in that will come out here. I don't have that one in all the way. I can see that right now. But anyway, that's the way that's going to look, and that's just going to do away with that. There's all the speaker wires. I've got those marked what they are. All the grounds are common, so we don't have to worry too much about them. I am going to put 2 of them on here though. I'll put one on the bank of main terminals, and then there'll be a bank of remote. So I'll put one to each. There's two negatives there. And the rest of them are all positives of the different. So there's two channels, that's left and right, and there's two terminal sets, main and remote. So there should be 4 of those, and there are. So there's gray, brown, light blue, dark blue. So that's the way they are, and they are, again, I've got those figured out and wrote down so that I can know what to do when I need to change those, or when I need to basically put them on. I'm trying to see how my things are going to stick out here. Let's see how it goes that way. You can see there's not going to be much sticking out there, but I think it'll be enough when I get this screwed on. It's like I said, I don't even have this one in all the way. That's why it's not tied up against the face of it, and that's what's holding it out. Now I could even trim that out a little further, I guess, if I wanted to, basically, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think that's fine. I don't know why I can see that, but the top of it doesn't even hit the metal part. The bottom does, but I don't know if I can trim that out or what. We'll see what I have to do. But either way, that's what I'm going for. I got tired of messing with those little twist-on things, and they just don't work very well. So, again, got tired of them, doing away with them, and that's the progress we've made so far. There's what I was talking about on the power sockets. There are no polarized style plugs, and you can see this one up here is switched. There you can go. Switched an 80 watt maximum, and the unswitched is a 200 watt max. So like I said, I may just hook up a regular plug to that with the extension type plug on it, where it can plug in 2 or 3 different things and use that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll make that work. That's not a big deal. The only thing I want to plug into the unswitched, like I said, is the turntable. And it doesn't matter if it's got power, because it doesn't run until you lift the tone on. So, all right, that's that. Like I said, I'm going to get busy and finish working on this and try to get this all situated, as they say. Again, I'm going to do some trimming on this and get that down where it's supposed to be, so I can get this. I've got to trim around these screws here, and then there are 2 bottom screws. You can't really see them, but there's 2 there. So get all those in and make sure they're going to be tight and everything, and that'll do it. So, all right, we'll bring you back when we have more to report. All right, well, there you can see I have these that are mounted. Now, this piece here is not mounted to the chassis yet. It's just sitting there. I need still to wire the backs of these, the wires here that go to them, and solder those up. But it is mounted in there very securely. These are screwed and nutted on each side, and of course that, and I still don't even have the bottom screws in. There are 2 more of those black screws that go in the bottom to hold that. But again, it's very solid like it is. Won't be any problem at all putting wires in there, especially with the little gift that Bob presented with me today. And I will flash up a picture of that. It's a basically a device for making cables ends, I guess is what you would call them. But the ends fit into these slots nicely. And I don't know that that was what it was designed for, but it works that way. So he said that's what he uses to make, because he made me some when I first started doing this stuff. I asked him to make me some things to go in here. He says I got just the thing, and he did. He sent the what they were, and if I can think of it, I'll flash that picture up too, so you can see what they look like. But anyway, again, I told Bob I was gonna wait until the morning to solder those wires in, so I didn't have to work by candlelight. So that light's not too bad. You can see it's got a little flicker on it, but that's just the camera. It's solid light there. So anyway, like I said, tomorrow when I get this done, I'll go ahead and wrap it up on this one, And then next video we'll get into the cassette deck. So that will be fun, because it does have a problem, I think. You know, if you can believe what the seller says, I think it does have a problem. So we will see. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, what you can see here is the finished product of the speaker terminals. You can see all the wires are back on. There's 6 wires. There's 2 ground wires. There's 1 positive on each of the rest one, which is 4 remote, or 4 speaker terminals, 2 remote and 2 main. So you got these are left, I think, on this side. Let's see. No, I've got it wrong. These are left. I always get it wrong. These are left. This is right on this side. So, but like I said, all 4 are attached to the new speaker terminals. We'll take a look at those. As you can see, those are all screwed in now and looking good. And everything worked out just fine on that. The wires were a bit short. These wires coming off of the switches back here. But you can see they're loose enough to where there's not going to be any problem. The only problem is they had to kind of bend around the heatsink here, but there's no real heat on that, I don't think, because your chip's way over here, and time it gets out that far, it's not that much heat to it. But anyway, if ever did come a problem, I can put some fixes in there to get them away from the heatsink if I need to. Now, that being done, turn this light off and turn you around. Alright, back on this side, I think you can see there is the volume control right there. You see I can work it up and down. And that's where we're going to spray our little neutral control cleaner in there and work that back a dozen or so times, and we'll clean that, and that should take care of any problems with that, I do think. So there's your fix for that, and I think the rest of the controls were just fine. Nothing else was causing any problems. The bass, treble, balance, all those were doing just fine. So that's what we're going to do, and once we do that, we'll hook it up for a test and see how she sounds. Alright, we are back once again. Everything is back together. You know, ain't that always the way? After putting it all back together, I found that volume control was not the problem. Now, watch this. That is the speaker switch. The on-off speaker switch, right there, that I am playing around with. If I just turn it on, I get 1 speaker. If I play with it, I can usually get 2. Turn it up a little bit. It seems to work a little bit better. Right there's both of them. So now, guess what? I get to take it all apart again. I really don't have to take it all apart, just the 2 screws for the top and then the 3 screws on the front, and then it should come out. I don't think that there's anything else holding it in. So we'll do that and bring you back. So let's see if we can get this thing fixed.
Them daddy to the
Alright, well, you can hear it is working. Works rather well. Problem with the knob for the volume. I hate these slide controls, I'm telling you. I'm going to have to glue it back on, I guess, because I can't get it to snap on. Looks like there was a black piece laying down there. That may have been what broke off. I don't know. But like I say, it's just one of those things. I had a heck of a time getting this thing. I got it fixed, but like I say, you can see there's the off. There's on. That's the on, or that's the main, and that's the remote. That's the main. So, left, right, center. Everything's working. Like I said, it is done now. It's done as I'm going to get it. If anything else pops up, I'll have to think about it. This here, I kind of wonder about this. That actually feels like, I can't tell what that is. I don't think that's metal. I think that's plastic. And I can't see that being metalish looking at it. It could be aluminum. That's possible. I'm gonna have to look at it a little closer. But if not, I'll just take some paint and touch it up. Not a big deal. It's not like this is gonna be, audiophile or anything like that. So it's just gonna be my little bedroom stereo, and on something I can play albums and stuff like that. So that's what I got. Anyway, that's that. Like I say, we're gonna end this video here, and we're gonna move on to the next bunch of stuff. We have the cassette deck to go through yet, and I also have that turntable to do some part swapping on that till I get it working properly, and we'll go from there. But like I said, a little bit more complicated than I had anticipated. I thought those terminals, well, I can't say I thought. I knew the terminals were a problem because one of them was broke, number one. So there was no way I could get that fixed. I tried several different ways of getting it fixed, and the part that was snap-on and everything like that broke off. It's kind of like the same thing with the volume knob. So, but anyway, that's a better system. I like that better. I don't have any problems with that. And again, but like I say, I've got the speaker switch cleaned really good, and everything else is hunky-dory. So we've got to get off here. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.